about the oil shale and fracking in this country. Natural gas, we've got more natural gas than the entire Middle East put together. We've got more
whole world put together.
More oil with the shale, with the fracking, and the Saudis just came out recently and said that it's a threat to the kingdom. That's big news when a Saudi prince comes out and says fracking in the United States is going to threaten our livelihood.
Well, first of all, there are two reasons for that. Number one, the Saudis are quickly losing their leverage at the worst time.
And they have nothing else to sell.
Well, they have nothing else to sell. They've got 28 million people there, but mostly in the oil business of one type or another, usually working for the princes. But their biggest enemy today is Iran. They're scared to death of Iran. I mean, this is a number one enemy. I think the Saudis would make peace with Israel in 5 seconds if it wasn't going to cause some major problems for them, because they know they need all the help they can get. And at the same time, they're the only, remember you were a kid at the time when you had the oil lines back in 1970.
But my grandfather owned a Texaco station, so I remember the people waiting in line to get gas.
And this was actually, by the way, do you know who instigated that price of oil from $2 a barrel at the time to $10 a barrel overnight? The Shah of Iran, and he collaborated with the Saudis, but the Saudis used that to punish the Western countries that were supporting Israel. Now you take away this oil advantage from the Saudis, and they've got nothing. They're sitting there with bare hands.
And you know, it's funny because in years past, both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans, have constantly talked about we need to be energy independent. We need to stop importing foreign oil. We could do that tomorrow if we wanted to.
We're on the way to do it.
In spite of the EPA.
Let me tell you something. In California, do you know how we solve all problems of California? We go ahead and we dig into the Monterey Shale, which goes from south of San Francisco to north of LA, the biggest one in the whole country. A study was made by the University of South Carolina, which indicated that in 7 years, if we started working on that shale, we would generate $50 billion in revenues, and we would hire 500,000 people. We would absolutely, this terrible state tax that's over everybody that now has to be prepaid at the beginning of the year, that would all go out the window. California would go right back to where they were 50 years ago.
And you don't have to look very far. You just look north of California to find out what the blueprint is. Look at North Dakota. Look at South Dakota.
North Dakota is a perfect example. 600,000 people, lowest unemployment rate in the country. They've got their own little Silicon Valley already. I don't want to insult what North Dakota used to be, but it was a barren state. It was nothing there where the people lived from the agricultural point of view. And now it's exactly how many other states could be. And look what's happening in Pennsylvania, Ohio, New York. Cuomo is Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, is trying to be holier than thou. He won't allow fracking in New York. In the meantime, Ohio and Pennsylvania are shipping into refineries that are in New York, so he doesn't get the benefit of the money that's being made.
And they go back to global warming as their reason for not doing it. And we just had a report that showed that this winter was one of the coldest, and the Antarctic ice is growing back faster than special experts expected. It's always a shock
we
to
hate
these people.
This administration hates coal. They want to get rid of it. You know what the number?
He said it.
I know, but
in 2008,
but
Obama said it.
What the number one natural resource in the world today for power generation is coal. Coal. China uses coal. India uses coal.
And it's cleaner than it's ever been.
It's not only, well, but the important thing is, that's true too, but the important thing is, even if we shut down everything and we became as pristine as 1 million years ago, the other countries don't give a darn. I mean, they go ahead and they want to, the developing countries, the underdeveloped countries, which are getting into the developing stage. I just finished writing on this as we speak this morning. It's unbelievable. We're going to be doubling our energy demand in the next 15 years, and then we're going to double it again in the following 20 years. So that's why do you think the price of oil right now, both here domestically and also overseas is over $100, because it's not because of what's happening in Egypt. It's happening because they see it's a valued resource that's going to be very much more expensive as time goes on.
And if we tax America over energy usage and we don't tax the rest of the world, all we're basically doing is redistributing the wealth.
Well, we're doing it by putting the screws down to the development of energy in this country. Nobody else is doing it. So it's because of that pressure group, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Sierra Club, and yeah, all the people that are allied with the administration.
We need to take a quick break. We will return with more economic news. Our global outlook and history segments are all straight ahead. For more information about show times and channels, or to email us with comments, just go to our website, theworldreport.org. We'll be right back.